Hello and welcome to this podcast. My name is Colm and I'll be discussing an article entitled 9 Ways to Reduce Cognitive Load in Multimedia Learning. The authors begin by explaining multimedia learning, which is making use of words and pictures to foster learning. Words may be either printed, as in the case of a book or on-screen text, or may be spoken, in the case of narration. Pictures may be either static, such as illustrations, photographs and graphics, or they may be dynamic, for example making use of animations, videos and other interactive illustrations. In describing how multimedia learning may be effectively employed, the authors of this article make use of the concept of cognitive load and cognitive overload. In order to fully explain these concepts, an understanding of how we learn is important. We make use of a dual-channel system for processing information, with separate channels for auditory and visual information. The words we hear and the images and words we see are processed separately, in that we select aspects of the information coming in through the ears and aspects of the images and text we see with our eyes and organise this information, integrating it with the knowledge we already possess. In order for meaningful learning to take place, the student must engage in substantial cognitive processing. Given that the processing power of the student's mind is severely limited, it's easy for the student's processing channels, the eyes and ears, to be required to work beyond their capabilities, a situation described as cognitive overload. The authors then go on to describe specific cases of cognitive overload and some suggestions to overcome them. We will not, however, discuss all these cases in this podcast, but will focus on some of the suggestions that are most applicable in my own context. The first suggestion is rather than an image being displayed along with accompanying text, requiring the eyes to undertake all the processing, that a narration of the text could be used, which would share the cognitive load between the eyes and ears, thereby reducing the load on any one channel. If the material is particularly difficult, the information should be provided in easily managed chunks, so that the student has time to process that information before being presented with more, a process the authors call segmentation. Extraneous material should be avoided, which, although it might be interesting, serves no additional purpose. This includes the use of background music, which can increase the processing requirements of the auditory channel, thereby resulting in cognitive overload. The authors call this weeding. So why did I choose this article for my research? Well, it provides a sound basis on the theories of how students learn, along with solid principles on how to improve the multimedia I produce. This improvement in multimedia should, in turn, lead to a reduction in the cognitive load my students experience, thereby leading to an increased student learning and understanding of the material. I hope this helps. Thanks for listening.